Part of me wonders why I'm hanging out in front of a mall and shooting its name as I begin. I suppose that's just so I have an introduction as to where I am this time around. If I'm going to be carving my visit to Yokohama into pieces, I might as well have an image to bookmark it by. Otherwise, I wind up with a half hour of single video like we did in Busan or in Kagoshima. Well, Kagoshima was broken up, but it had a lot in one combination, so yeah. Huh. You remember what I've said about shopping arcades and how there seems to be everything is busy, everything is open? Or no, that was the Hong Kong Mall. This one doesn't seem like that. I'm not sure why that is. Renewal open 4/26. Okay, so maybe we're a week too soon. Interesting. Well, or maybe there's more upstairs. There certainly seems like there's a lot going on, so maybe I should head over to the elevator and check out the upper floors. 5th floor seems to be where it tops out, although I thought I saw mention of a 6th floor. Well, we can go in and check it out. And this seems to be not quite a food court, but definitely restaurant row, as it were. Okay. I mean, at least it's ordered well. Oh my goodness. Well, they've got an American restaurant with sizzling fajitas and bloomin' onions. I'd be curious to know what they do with that, or if it tastes like back at home. Then again, you and I haven't had that bloomin' onion for years for other reasons than it's not being accessible to us. Oh my. Well, we've got this in Schaumburg now too. It is so weird that some of these places are available at home now. Yeah, I even saw a Kuro restaurant down in Kabukicho, and it's kind of like, oh, they've got one here. Well, there's no point in going to it because we've got that at home. There are a lot of things I can really just pass up simply because they exist where I come from. And it's just like the novelty isn't there anymore. Which is why, and I'm sure somebody has to look down on me for, you went to a Yoshinaya rather than doing sushi or something like that. Fairly reasonable put down, but yeah, because Yoshinaya doesn't exist where I come from, and the Kuro and Shabu Shabu do. Take that how you will. I don't know how that reflects on where I live. But I let those of you watching over her shoulder be the judge. Holy crow, we've got ourselves another long line. And while I've heard things about Sasaria, I mean, again, pizza's a thing back at home. Heck, we have our very own. Nobody ever seems to do that anywhere else. So, all right, I'm in that big red warehouse next to the festival grounds, and I have to call out my friends at home and ask them, does that look like a Chicago pizza to you? Yeah, no it does not. I don't know what it is, but that's not what it is. Okay, well, I guess I take that back. That looks a little bit more like a Chicago pizza, so. All right, fine, forgiven. But, you know, I can go home and do that too, so. Okay, so here's where the dating couples go. It's the movies, of course, because they haven't been turned into rotten tripe like they have in the States. Good for them, by the way. And I hope they enjoy themselves. Oh my gosh, Aaron, are you looking at this? Because I think you would like that. Rock climbing walls for days. Although you'd probably make about half an hour out of it. Okay, so there is a 6th floor. And it's a quiet place. Maybe because there's a spa here. And traditional Japanese clothing. Although there are a few other things like bicycle place. Such an eclectic mix of things. Really. Oh, and I guess this leads into a convention center? Or it says event hall. I'm not sure what kind of events they'd be having. In any case, not designed for me, but otherwise interesting nonetheless. Okay, 4th floor, home and office furnishings, it seems, and not so much in the way of walls between the stores, unless this is all one big store. It's not clear to me. Well, there are some walls here. Ah, I think that's actually a restaurant. And it's somewhat more open than the ones on 4 or 5. Interesting. There's quite a selection here. I always thought of the Japanese as being fairly minimalist when it came to decor. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I don't think I can ever get used to the fact that their beds and their couches are so low to the ground. I would say something about their beds being that low because it's too low to sit on, but then their chairs are just as low, so they're being consistent. It's just that my legs going up to my knees are much higher than that, I guess. It's kind of weird, at least from my perspective. All right. 3rd floor seems to be more casual clothing. And, oh my. So, now I apologize whenever I say, oh my, and you have no idea what I've been looking at. Some things just pass by pretty quickly. And, you know, once the moment's gone, it's gone. And some things I'm not sure I want to necessarily show. And other things I need to get out of the way from because I heard that music and I'm going to get a copyright strike if I let it go on for too long. So, you'll forgive me if I don't point everything out that I see. It never fails to amaze me just how many twists and turns these things have and how much they stuff into a compact area. The problem, of course, with a pop culture store is that it's not my pop culture, so even then it doesn't quite appeal. I don't know if you find it as amusing as I do, that they seem to be addicted to all things American, but there we have it.
Remember those cards that I saw in Akihabara? Well, it seems like One Piece in particular is like Magic the Gathering for anime fans. They have a whole system for this, even down to the fact that they have electronic tables keeping track of your cards.
Even as I learned something about a previous question, I find myself with so many more. How does this work? How do you make a Magic the Gathering type card game out of One Piece? What are the rules? How do you win? And do I really even want to know the answers to all of this? Because that would require going down such a large and deep rabbit hole that I don't know. I really don't. But this is the Bandai Namco store dedicated to all sorts of games. So we're going to see a lot of that going on. I don't understand the games being played these days, but as long as they're having fun playing them, it's very much like walking through Stevens Center while they're doing this drumming and whatnot. It is kind of impressive watching. Didn't film it because didn't think that'd be right to film somebody else. And I can't get their permission if I can't speak their language. So, yeah. But you're sure these guys can drum. For all the gachapon machines they've got here, I haven't been able to find anything that I think would appeal to Daniel or Logan or anything. I don't know what they're into or not into, to be fair. And apart from a few that have titles that are written in Latin characters, I'm not sure I'd be able to spot them in the original form. So, yeah, there's that. Anyway, that's the place from top to bottom. Just kind of go and work my way down, and it's a lot more orderly than the one in Hong Kong, I think. But also a lot of places without much going on yet. If we showed up a week from now, who knows? Maybe there's a lot of new stuff. But, oh, and it does open up here. There is stuff going on, and I don't know what to make of it. Okay, a Macca's I'm not going to mess with. Again, if we have it at home, I'm not going to worry about it here. I'm not going to concern myself. But that does mean I rule out a lot of things, it seems. Somewhere along the way, there's got to be something that, well, this place does, I don't know.
I know that a lion is supposed to be a sign of a good place. But having to deal with lions is just, especially for a fast food joint, it just makes you kind of wonder. This one too. I mean, I realize we're on the first floor, so this is where everything's accessible, so this will grab everybody.
When push comes to shove, those sorts of things literally defeat the purpose of fast food. It's no longer fast at all. If you're waiting for almost the amount of time it takes to cook up, serve, and consume your order. And of course, maybe that's partly because this is still the lunch hour. So, there's going to be a big crowd trying to get that taken care of and get on with their day. Although, again, it's Sunday. There is no rush anymore. And so everybody can crowd around, and however long it takes is how long it takes. Anyway, that's the place. So, a lot of interesting stuff to it. And again, it's all crammed into this fairly small footprint, relatively speaking. And I guess there's underground parking, so you could get here from elsewhere. But man,